There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The sun is as high, and I can't go any further than that, or I have to pay Rogers and Hammerstein royalties. Like their estates need that. Happy Thursday. It is the 7th day of October 2021. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Sun's just starting to get the job done. Chilly 39 outside of our studios. That's what they predicted from the National Weather Service. It's a cool start to the morning, and we're in for an extended period of cool weather. It's definitely now mid-October, or at least October. It's definitely autumn, and it's going to feel that way. And if you think it's going to be chilly now, wait till you get to next week. A significant cold snap heading our way next week. The long-term outlook is going to be coming your way when we do the weather. Plus, letting you know what's going to happen over the next 7 days or so. Going to be chilly, no question about that. Details are coming up. Also, in sports, a former Mariner is the mayor of Los Angeles this morning. I don't know if you watched it. Incredibly entertaining baseball game. The wild card, one game get in or you're done between the Dodgers and the Cardinals. Spoiler alert, Grant will be happy. Grant's a Dodger fan. We'll talk about that when we get to sports. Also, we'll preview the weekend that is in sports. And don't forget the Seahawks have a game tonight. They're at home taking on their divisional rivals, the Los Angeles Rams. We'll preview that as well. Is Mr. Carson going to play tonight? We don't know. Sports. Coming up, the obscure holiday, today in history, some opinions from my mad dog Magnotti's celebrity birthdays. It's Thursday. Pause for pets. Yeah, we're going to introduce you to Eddie and Simone, who are guinea pigs. Want a guinea pig? You have a chance to get a couple of them at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And at the back half of the program, a great conversation I had. We taped it last night with Mitch Darlington, who is the brand new head coach of the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Coach Ian Sanderson took a job with an NCAA-affiliated team, and the rules of the West Coast League are if you coach an NCAA team, you can't coach a West Coast League because there's conflict of interest because, of course, they use NCAA players. It's a long story in any event. Mitch has the new gig. He'll be the new head coach of the Wenatchee Apple Sox. We'll have that conversation in the back half of the program. That's where we have all of our Apple Sox bubbleheads here on my desk. Let's take our tour as the sun begins to slowly rise over the East Wenatchee bench. Sunrise officially, not for a few more minutes. 7:09 this morning. Sunset tonight. 6:28, 11 hours and 19 minutes of daylight. We hit 63 yesterday. That's about where we're going to be today. We did have some clouds yesterday. That's not going to be the case today. We'll have nothing but blue skies and sunshine. Absolutely no precipitation in the forecast until maybe Sunday. The passes could get some light snow on Sunday. Heads up on that. Beautiful view of the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera. Camera number 2. That is a picture of the sky. I can't see that, Uriah. That's the Tumwater one? Okay, so that's Leavenworth is down there somewhere. He's got that pointed, obviously, pretty close to the east as the sun begins to climb up. While you look at that, I'll tell you your area temperatures. As I mentioned already, it's 39 downtown, but there's some really cold spots. Freddie, you're at 34. Moses Lake, 31. Manson, let me see here, 35 degrees. Dryden, 35. Omak, 31. There's a frost or two on the pumpkin this morning. Camera number 3. Hey, that's a nice view of the, I want to say that's Lake Chelan. That's Greens Knob, so yes, that is Lake Chelan. We have confirmed that. That's up the lake quite a bit. Hello, Greens Knob. That's the farthest camera we have going up the lake towards Holden and Stehekin. We have Sky-Fi Towers. Local does pass Greens Knob. We don't have any cameras on them yet. I think that's probably in the hopper. Camera number 4. Wow. Now, we showed you this yesterday, and my jaw just dropped. That is stunning. That's our camera high up number 1 canyon on the far western hills of Wenatchee, looking over towards the sunrise. That is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Wow. Let's just look at this, throw on some music, and we'll go have breakfast. I could look at that all day. Gorgeous view of the sunrise this morning at 5 minutes after the hour. All right. We do have some information from you regarding frost. There are some places right now that are dealing with frost, especially out in the Columbia Basin. Very chilly out there, and it's going to stay this way with these overnight lows. Will be in the 30s in a lot of locations. We have a slide to show for you from the National Weather Service. Now, if you live near, rivers and streams, you're not going to deal with frost. It's always a little bit warmer along rivers and sizable streams. It's when you get into canyons and places that are not near a sizable body of water when you start dealing with some frost issues. So widespread frost, especially right now out of the Columbia Basin. As I mentioned, it's below freezing at Moses Lake at 31 right now. It's close to freezing in Ephrata at 34, down south in Ellensburg here at 33. And this cold weather is going to continue. We'll have an overnight low again in the 30s tonight going into Friday and Friday night as well, pretty close to having overnight lows in the 30s. And then it's going to get really cold next week. Sunday afternoon is when this cold front begins to roll in, and it's going to cause not only some widespread frost and freezing across a lot of valley locations, it's also going to bring in some wind. So watch out for some wind on Sunday afternoon. Sunday is going to be one of those raw kind of days. It's going to start out beautiful. You know, the weather is going to deteriorate as Sunday progresses, and by Sunday, close to sunset, around 6 o'clock or so, going to be dealing with some significant winds as here comes the cold weather. And look at the long-term outlook for next week. Now, this starts next Tuesday the 12th, and goes through that whole next week, Tuesday to Tuesday. Look at that big blue blob on your left. That's the temperature outlook. They have very high confidence. The National Weather Service says that all of next week we will see temperatures well below normal, and we have a better than 50-50 chance of seeing above normal precipitation. So it's going to be a little wetter, but considerably cooler, almost, we could say, downright cold for the vast majority of next week. Get ready for some cold stuff, unseasonably cold weather for most of next week. In fact, without any further ado, from the National Weather Service, 64 our high today. That's just about 1 degree warmer than we had yesterday, but lots of sunshine, no clouds today. 39 again for the overnight low tonight. Sunshine again on Friday, below normal temperature, about 65. Our normal high this time of the year is 67. 40 for the overnight low Friday night. Just a few passing clouds, maybe a slight light sprinkle on Saturday afternoon. It's a weak system that's going to come through, not packing a great deal of punch, but it is going to warm up our overnight lows. As you can see with the blanket on, we'll have 47 degrees Saturday night for the overnight low. Sunday, partly sunny, considerably cooler. Here comes that cold air we've been talking about. Maybe a little bit of rain on Sunday, very windy Sunday afternoon into Sunday night, 38 for the overnight low, and then we get, well, for October anyway, cold. We won't even get to 60 on Monday, right around 60 on Tuesday, right around 60 on Wednesday. Heads up on Sunday night. Snow level is going to go down to 2,900 feet, even though there's not a lot of moisture Sunday night. Whatever moisture is going to come down at 3,000 feet or above will come down in the form of snow. I think we're going to wake up Columbus Day Monday, and if you look up towards Mission Ridge, I'm pretty sure they'll have a dusting of the white stuff, at least at the summit of the Mission Ridge Ski and Snowboard Resort. You've been warned. 8 minutes after the hour, 1 minute break, and your news. You're watching Wake Up in Antrim Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Kids are resilient. I just love their energy. They bounce back so quickly. I love the stories they tell. I love just their charisma, their character. I love to see that subtle smile that you pull out of a kid, you know, when you start talking with them about something they really like. I just love what I do, and I can't imagine I would be as happy doing anything else.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
We just ticked up a degree during our commercial break. It's 40 now outside of our studios. Lower 60s today to lots of sunshine. Bountiful sunshine for the most part. Bit of a change in the weekend. Very chilly weather for October coming next week. It's 10 minutes after the hour. We begin with this story. Dr. Douglas Wilson, the physician executive who was to become the CEO of Confluence Health later on this year, is departing the organization instead. The 53-year-old Wilson was named CEO-elect last year. Dr. Peter Rutherford announcing his plans to retire this autumn. Both men have remained in leadership throughout the COVID-19 crisis. Now, Wilson's departure was announced yesterday afternoon in a memo circulated to the board members of Confluence Health. It did not state a reason for the resignation nor a date when it would become effective. Wilson is a board-certified family medical physician. He practiced for 15 years in Tonasket, then he relocated to Wenatchee. In 2019, Dr. Peter Rutherford will remain CEO of Confluence Health as they seek a new successor. 2 employees at Cascade Medical Center in Leavenworth have been fired after spreading COVID-19 information and other inappropriate content on TikTok. Now, Cascade wouldn't name the 2 former employees who were involved in creating multiple TikTok videos that were shot in and around the hospital. Other TikTok users reviewed their posts and identified them as a 33-year-old man and a 21-year-old woman, neither of whom were involved in direct medical care. Now, the posts spread disinformation about COVID-19, the vaccines, and mask use, as well as racist and anti-Semitic content. Cascade says the employees, and I'm quoting now, violated multiple elements of our social media policy, in quotation. They were fired after being found out, by the way, in mid-June. Spokesman Clint Strand says no sensitive patient information was disclosed in those videos. If you're traveling on Highway 297 between East Wenatchee and Orondo yesterday, this is what you had to deal with. A car fire between Orondo and Lincoln Rock State Park yesterday afternoon. The Washington State Patrol said nobody was injured in the fire. It was toned out at about 2:20 in the afternoon. Traffic was blocked in both directions for about an hour as firefighters doused the blaze. Trooper John Bryant said there is no information as to the cause of the fire other than the fact it did not involve a collision with another vehicle. The Association of Washington Businesses brought their statewide Manufacturing Week tour to the Wenatchee Valley. Yesterday, had a chance to check out the big bus. They made stops at Wenatchee Valley College, also at Liberty Orchards in Cashmere, and at Rocky Reach Dam, and we caught up with them at Rocky Reach Dam and had a talk to the president, AWD President Chris Johnson.
Yeah, so Chris Johnson with Association of Washington Business. This is our 5th annual manufacturing tour. We're out talking about how important, how vibrant manufacturing is across the state of Washington. Right here in Chelan Douglas, 162 manufacturers make all kinds of products with 2,500 women and men every day who go to work for them. And so Washington is the most trade-driven state of the 50 states. That means we make great products. They're made right here. We ship them not just around the country, but all around the globe. So we really are a fully connected infrastructure system here. And we're here today, right here at Rocky Reach, to talk about how important energy is to manufacturers. I mean, there's in this state really 2 competitive advantages. Great people who are trained, skilled, and educated to go, and low-cost, reliable, affordable power. And look at the game changer that power has been to the Mid-Columbia here. Well, and we're the most trade-driven state of the 50 states. So that means we make a lot of stuff. We send it all across the country, and for that matter, all across the globe, if you're the most trade-driven of the 50 states, right? And we know that here around things like apples, or one of the stops we're going off to see, applets and cotlets, right? Like, in fact, you know, right here, if you look at what's here, you've got some strong support in aerospace here, strong support in food processing, commodities, metal manufacturing, heavy manufacturing. So there is a diversity of manufacturing in addition to food processing and others that we would see every day that happens right here in Chelan Douglas counties. And what we've heard on our tour just this year, more so than other years, is just the challenges around supply chain disruptions. I mean, COVID has really taught us that, right? When you're doing lean and just-in-time manufacturing, anytime you have a pandemic, it severely disrupts the supply chain, whether it's domestic or foreign for that matter. And so supply chain disruptions and talent have been the top 2 things we've been hearing on our tour this year. Yeah, so, you know, one of the neat things that we're also talking about is not just the awesome careers and jobs that exist here and the awesome products, but also the career opportunities. And so we're off to Wenatchee Valley College to talk with students about, hey, get across that finish line, have the right skills, certificates, and training so that you can go out and have a career of tomorrow right here and make a great wage, support a family, buy a home, and put some roots down. Well, I just say it's an exciting time to be in manufacturing. I shared with you the numbers about what's happened locally here. How about this? In the state of Washington, every day, 300,000 women and men go to work for a manufacturer to make an amazing product. And to your point, it gets sent all across the globe. It's an exciting career. You can have a great life in this piece, have a great income, and make a difference in the communities you call home. Great time. You might be a young person here and say, boy, I don't have to leave Wenatchee to get a great job. I can go get skills at Wenatchee Valley College, get skilled up. I can go get a job that earns me $60,000 to $80,000 a year. And Wenatchee, that buys you a nice home. Allows you to start a family. So, hey, there are great jobs that exist right here in Wenatchee that people can get. That's part of what we're trying to tell people.
The chairwoman of the Douglas County Democratic Party let her voice be known on Tuesday as to the future and the possible shape of the 12th district, and she wasn't alone. A lot of people commented as the Washington Redistricting Commission held their online public testimony on Tuesday. There is 4 proposed legislative maps that could reshape the voting districts over the next decade.
The Redistricting Commission has been tasked to draw districts that are compact, contiguous, follow the boundaries of cities and counties, and reflect communities of interest on the ground. Please keep the counties of Chelan and Douglas wholly together and include as much of Okanagan County as is practical, especially the communities of the Mattow Valley. In many regards, we are connected at the proverbial and fiscal hip. Of particular interest is in maintaining the voice and vote of Latinx communities who live in East Wenatchee, Wenatchee and Rock Island, as well as those of Bridgeport and Brewster.
A Pateros attorney who also spent time as a contestant on The Apprentice a few years back has to pay about $10,000 for violating attorney-client privilege. A Chelan County judge ruled in 2020, and the State of Court of Appeals ruled on Tuesday, affirmed that ruling. 46-year-old attorney Alex Thomason, well, apparently he filed 600 pages of irrelevant and confidential documents as part of a complicated estate lawsuit. Now, the courts fined Thomason at $10,000 in sanctions, saying he improperly filed copies of private receipts and financial records he had kept after representing one of the parties in a prior divorce. A Chelan County judge ruled the filing violated Thomason's duties as a lawyer and was intended as harassment. Thomason, a Pateros native, was a contestant in the 3rd season of The Apprentice with Donald Trump in 2005. At the time, he was a deputy prosecutor with the King County Prosecutor's Office. For the last 9 years, he has had his own practice in Pateros. And finally, live music coming to the courtyard of the America Performing Arts Center tomorrow night, and it's a benefit. The proceeds are going to go to the local Vets Serving Vets organization. They're Canadian and they're good. They're called the June Bugs. They'll be performing in the courtyard at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Tickets are $15 a pop. 25% of those sales goes to Vets Serving Vets. The June Bugs are described as a high-energy pop and rock group. You can purchase your tickets at the America Performing Arts Center website. You're in the loop at 18 minutes after the hour. We'll have a newscast for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Also available on our Facebook page, our homepage, and our YouTube page. And with the preview, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll bring you our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Our cooler than normal temperatures continue, and you might want to cover up that garden at night. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has a look at tonight's prep soccer and volleyball action, as well as a preview of tonight's big game between the Seahawks and Rams. That and all the day's news stories coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Don't forget, you want to chip in and say hi. You got a news tip? We'd love to hear from our viewers, and you're pretty good at getting a hold of us. Facebook app, email us directly at the email address you see at the bottom of your screen. Go to our homepage and click on the Contact Us icon. We'd love to hear from you. After a quick break, as you know, I love postseason baseball, the Major League Baseball playoffs, my absolutely favorite sporting event. And I love low-scoring postseason baseball games, and it was a perfect storm last night at Dodger Stadium. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Think premium can't be capable? Think again. Introducing the first ever AT4 lineup. premium and capable. That's professional grade from GMC.
Let's face it, selling your good used vehicle can be a hassle, if nothing else. Consign your vehicle here at Global Elite Motors. When you do, you'll get the best possible price because of our proprietary selling system. We offer the ability to finance, add warranties, take trade-ins, and much, much more. Each consignment vehicle we represent is thoroughly inspected and marketed to attract qualified buyers. Let us help sell your quality vehicle. Buying a vehicle? Consigning a vehicle? Stop by Global Elite Motors on Wenatchee Avenue at Global Car Care.
Postseason baseball is dramatic. By definition, last night's lived up to its billing. The Dodgers and the Cardinals locked in a 1-1 tie in the National League wild card game. An intense atmosphere, incredibly exciting. To the bottom of the ninth we go. 2 outs, runner on second base. You remember Chris Taylor used to play for the Mariners? Chris Taylor did this.
So a stolen base, the winning run in scoring position with the speedy Bellinger at second base. Reyes on 2-1. Taylor, fly ball to left and deep and gone! Chris Taylor, a walk-off home run. The Dodgers are walking off to San Francisco. They win the wild card, 3-1. Here comes Taylor to the plate. They are mobbing him. The crowd is going crazy. The Dodgers advance to the National League Division Series with one mighty swing by Chris Taylor.
I was honestly just trying to hit a single, just not trying to do too much, and he gave me a good slider to hit. I was able to get it up in the air. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I mean, two of the best regular season records all time, and we've been battling all year, so I expect a hard-fought series.
Grant will be happy today. Yeah, Chris Taylor is the hero. Dodgers move on. Yeah, we're looking forward to this one. Dodgers won 106 games in the regular season. The Giants won 107. The National League Division Series between those two teams starts on Friday. The American League Divisional Series gets underway today. You got Houston hosting the White Sox, Game 1, 107. You can watch that on FS1. And then you got Boston and Tampa in Tampa at 5:07. The other National League Divisional Series between the Braves and the Brewers gets underway Friday afternoon in Brewtown. Several health questions loom for the Seahawks as they're getting ready to take on the Rams tonight, Thursday Night Football. The biggest question, running back Chris Carson. He's banged up. Is he going to play? Pete Carroll says it's a game-time decision.
He has had a kind of a long-term, I guess it would be kind of a condition that he's dealt with, and sometimes it flares up and sometimes it doesn't. And it's, we've tested him and MRI'd him and all that kind of stuff, and it's no different than it's been. It's just obviously inflamed right now, and so we got to see if it quiets down.
Tight end Gerald Everett is also a bit of a question mark. He's in COVID protocol. He tested positive for the virus after their victory over San Francisco on Sunday. And wide receiver Dwayne Eskridge is going to miss another game. He suffered a concussion in Week 3 against the Vikings.
It's not a setback. He was just trying to get back, and as he had to do work to see where he was, and then the work gave us more information, and so we're still waiting for him to clear totally in all aspects, and we're really careful with this and really want to make sure that we look after him and all that. So we're going to be patient and work our way through it. So it's unfortunate, but obviously he had a real serious concussion, and it's taken some extra time than maybe some of the normal ones, if there's such thing as a normal concussion.
Seahawks and Rams, 5:20 tonight. You can watch it on Fox. I won't be watching. I'll be watching baseball. High school football gets underway tonight for a couple of teams in our region. Cashmere will host a non-league game against Ephrata. Kickoff at 7:30 at Cashmere High School. The rest of the Caribou Trail League plays tomorrow. Cascade travels to Quincy. Chelan will host OMAC. The B schools have a couple of games tonight. Waterville-Mansfield hosts Bridgeport at 7 o'clock, and up north, Lake Roosevelt will take on Okanagan. Tomorrow night, you got Tenasket of Brewster. Antioch will host Pateros. Manson's at Orville, and Liberty Bell slips into Soap Lake. Eastmont celebrates homecoming tomorrow night. Moses Lake is in town. We'll have it live here on the NCW Live channel. Eric and Grant with the call. Pregame 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. There's only one other league game tomorrow in the Big Nine. That's Eisenhower at Sunnyside. West Valley already had a pre-scheduled bye, and of course, Wenatchee's game at Davis canceled because of COVID in the Panther program. It will officially go down as a no contest. Here's the prep soccer schedule. Today, Cascade visits Ellensburg at 4. Brewster will host Lake Roosevelt. Liberty Bell is at Bridgeport. Okanagan will host Pateros. Cashmere will play Quincy tonight at 6. And Ephrata will host Prosser. A couple of games in the Les Schwab Prep volleyball scoreboard from last night. Antioch sweeping Soap Lake. Okanagan trumping Tenasket. Coming up tonight in girls volleyball, Easton visits Bridgeport. At 5:30, Pateros entertains Riverside Christian. At 6:30, Waterville, Mansfield, and Cascade. Brewster travels to Liberty Bell. Lake Roosevelt will host Tenasket. Eastmont visits Davis tonight at 7, and Chelan will host Omak at 7:30. And everybody into the pool. It is senior night. Girls swimming and diving today at the James Elwin Pool on the campus of Wenatchee High School. They'll host Davis at 4 o'clock. Also on the schedule, West Valley will swim in Moses Lake, also at 4 o'clock. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this 7th day of October 2021, we want to celebrate National LED Light Day. Today, this has been a game changer. It was on this date 7 years ago, October 7, 2014, that the 3 American-Japanese electronics engineers who basically invented light-emitted diodes received the Nobel Prize in Physics for the major breakthrough that, hey, yeah, we used LED lights in calculators back in the day and remote controls, but wait a minute. If we mess around with this a little bit, we can create very bright light that uses almost no electricity or none at all. And out comes Blu-ray players, optical networking, fiber optics, the bright screens that you have on your televisions and your phones. It's all because of LED lights. Every house now is pretty much, when LED lights first came out 20 years ago, they were terribly expensive. They've gotten much cheaper now. You still find halogens around. The only thing I don't like about LED lights, and I love LED lights, they don't work with dimmer switches. You still gotta kind of use the halogens for that. But light emitting diodes, the game changer. Today is National LED Light Day today. Celebrate it with a light emitting diode that you love. Let's do today in history. This is not I think most people, sports fans, know about this. 222-0 was the final. The Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech defeats Cumberland University 222-0. The most lopsided college football game in American history. It happened 105 years ago today, October 7th, 1916. Now, before the 1916 school year, Cumberland disbanded the football team. They said, we're not doing football anymore. But they had signed a contract with Georgia Tech to play Georgia Tech. And Cumberland called up Georgia Tech, said, we don't have a football team anymore. And Georgia Tech said, we don't care. You signed a contract, you're going to come play us. So they cobbled together a football team and traveled to Atlanta, and Cumberland they got the butts kicked. They rushed 27 times for minus 47 yards. They lost 9 fumbles. They passed 18 times. They completed 2 passes for 14 yards. 6 passes were intercepted. Georgia Tech, 222. Cumberland University, nothing. 105 years ago today. And they didn't have a running clock. John Lennon got his green card on this date 45 years ago today. A lot of very prominent Americans testified, said John loves this country. John wants to live in this country. He says America is where it's at. Why can't John live here? Well, his past. John Lennon was awarded his green card, permanent residency status, at a hearing in New York City. It overturned all the United States government's efforts to deport them, and they worked really hard. The United States government went way out of their way to deport John Lennon. John Lennon got his green card on this date 45 years ago today. He wanted to be an American citizen, and he was working towards that end when he was assassinated in December of 1980. Let's call the race. Here we go. We're going to the ninth race at Belmont Park. 30 years ago today at Belmont Park. It's a claims race. It's the last race of the year. You got Scorecard Harry. That's an 11-1 shot. Herb McCauley up on top. Space Appeal, 6-1, ridden by Zoltan Varga. Cafe Lex, a 3-1 odds. The favorite, Chris Antley, aboard into the stretch. They go, and it's Scorecard Harry in the lead, and here comes Space Appeal along the line. Cafe Lex is running right in there as well. You got Cafe Lex and Space Appeal and Scorecard Harry, and here comes Beetle Bomb. Cafe Lex, Space Appeal, Scorecard Harry, Ball It Up Allied, and Space Appeal, and it's Cafe Lex and it's Space Appeal, and it's Scorecard Harry, and at the finish, it's a triple dead heat. A triple dead heat between Scorecard Harry, Space Appeal, and Cafe Lex, a triple dead heat. The ninth and final race at Belmont Park 30 years ago today. So how do you pay out a triple dead heat? It ain't easy. It took the computers at Belmont about an hour to go through all the possible scenarios. For a $2 bet, Scorecard Harry paid $6.20 to win, but $7.40 to place. This is how convoluted that was. As it turns out, there were 15 possible different payout combinations. When you combine the daily double, the exacta, the triple, a triple dead heat 30 years ago today. The most costly and devastating flood in this country's history finally came to an end on this date in 1993, 103 days after it began. The Mississippi River finally fell below flood stage in St. Louis, Missouri. 100,000 homes destroyed, damage $20 billion in 1993 money. The most costly and devastating flood in American history. The Mississippi River was above flood stage for over 100 days. And the longest war in this nation's history just came to an end, as you well know. President Biden sending the troops home from Afghanistan. It began on this date 20 years ago today, October 7, 2001, with the war, with the air assault and covert operations. The longest war in American history began on this date, ended just a few months ago. It was originally called Operation Enduring Freedom from 2001 to 2004. Then it became Operation Freedom Sentinel, and now it's nothing. But we're still fighting the international war on terror. Let's do birthdays at the bottom of the hour. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night, alive as you and me. Says I, but Joe, you're 10 years dead. I never died, said he. Joe Hill, the Swedish-born American labor activist and poet, executed in Utah in 1915 at the age of 36. Don't mourn, organize. Joe Hill, a legendary figure in the labor movement in this country, died at the age of 36, born in the state in 1879. Vladimir Putin, he's been the president of Russia for a long time. He was the president from 2000 to 2008. Then he was 4 years out. Now he's been back at it again for another 10 years. Vladimir Putin is 69 years old today. We got a kind of a kick in the newsroom the other day. We were talking about the revelations in the book that just came out that Vladimir Putin purposely found a very, very attractive woman to act as the translator between him and President Trump during President Trump's visit with Vladimir Putin, that he wanted President Trump to be distracted by this very attractive translator. Vladimir Putin speaks English fluently. He doesn't need a translator. He also speaks German and Swedish too, in case you're curious. And happy 54th birthday, Toni Braxton, singer, songwriter, producer, actress, not just a pretty face. She's good, and she's 54 years old today. We have an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti right around the corner. You're going to love it. Also, Mitch Darlington, the new head coach of the Wenatchee Apple Sox, joining me. We're going to talk in baseball with Mitch. But first things first, Eddie and Simone, the guinea pigs, need homes. It's Pause for Pets.
This week on Pause for Pets, Haley from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society introduces us to a pair of guinea pigs named Eddie and Simone.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley and I'm with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And here with me this week we have two guinea pigs. And this one, they're both kind of shy and hiding, but we have a blonde boy, his name is Eddie. And we have his sister in the adjacent cage, and her name is Simone. They were both owner surrendered because I think the person didn't have enough space or time for them. And these two are both really sweet. They're, again, on the shyer side, so they probably haven't been handled much, but they're very neat and tidy for guinea pigs, and they're both surprisingly really quiet while they've been here. I think they would make excellent homes for kids who are wanting, a quieter pet, as well as, pets for someone who maybe have a little bit more also experience with the shyer pigs to help bring them out of their shells and comfort zones.
If you are interested in meeting and adopting Eddie or Simone, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and closed 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. for quiet hour. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
ColorFX has moved their shop to a larger location to expand their services, including adding in a state-of-the-art large format printer. They got it. You need banners? They got them. You need vinyl decals for your cars, trucks, vans, or trailers in just about any size? Yeah, they got it. ColorFX has also been providing fun swag and clothing for local churches and high schools around our valley for decades. Support your local print shop. Call ColorFX in Cashmere today.
Welcome to Crunch Pack, the #1 supplier of sliced apples and a premier employer in the Wenatchee Valley. We are looking to add new members to our Crunch Pack team. We offer full-time work with great benefits in a safe environment with fantastic people. As a part of the Crunch Pack family, you'll find a home that's all about helping you thrive and succeed. Come see what Crunch Pack can do for you. Apply today at 300 Sunset Highway in Cashmere or online at crunchpack.com.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
Don't make plans to store your boat for the off-season until you've checked out the Super Package from Bob File Boats and Motors. With this package, you just drop your boat off for winterizing, and they take it from there. When you pick it up in the spring, it'll be ready to go for the next season. There are too many features in the Super Package to list here, so get the details. 509-884-3558.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. So now the Republicans are calling for Biden to be thrown out of office, and probably will be doing so for the next 3 years. Yep, it's going to go on that long because just as it was when the Dems were calling for Trump to be ousted, it ain't going to happen. Just as it was with the Dems and Trump, it's a pipe dream for Republicans to think that they can kick Uncle Joe out of the Oval Office. Now, if he's going to go, my right-wing friends, it'll be the same way Trump went, and you'll have to vote him out in 2024. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up. Lifetime warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Today, we're doing some employee development with our technicians.
Today, we're going to learn how to give our home a hug.
It's not just a motto, but a unique way that Patriot technicians care for your home.
Oh, no, come on. You really got to get in there and get your arms around it, give it a good embrace. All right, hey, good job.
I think the training is going really well.
Heating and cooling will give your home a hug.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere. So when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is October. The baseball playoffs are well underway. Although my Yankees are eliminated, doesn't change my passion for the game of baseball. And locally, of course, if you're a passionate baseball fan, you follow religiously every summer between June and August the Wenatchee Apple Sox. And they have a new head coach. He's a local kid. I probably shouldn't use the word kid, but the fact that he has Northwest roots, specifically North Central Washington roots, makes him a perfect fit. He is the new head coach of the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Mitch Darlington joins us on this program. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We both got our little baseballs here because I've discovered if you hold a baseball, when you talk baseball to a baseball person, you tend to draw a little something out at you. Right. Congratulations on the job. Tell me the organic, how did this happen? How did you land the gig, Mitch?
So 2 years ago, I actually applied for the position and came up second to a good coach, Ian Sanderson, who's done a great job with the Apple Sox the last couple of years. And recently, I received a call from Jose, the owner, and asked if I was still interested in getting back into coaching. And talked with my wife, and we discussed it, and it's just an opportunity that I couldn't let slip. So definitely had to jump on with it, and I'm excited.
And you're what, 27?
27, yeah.
27 years old. That's pretty young.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to admit that.
Yeah. Definitely a young guy, but I think that can be a blessing in some ways with the energy I have and being able to relate to players and just recently having been in their shoes playing college baseball. I think that could be a good thing.
You finished, as you mentioned, runner-up to former coach Ian Sanderson, which probably made you feel pretty good as a 25-year-old, thinking, I almost got the gig. But obviously they didn't think you were quite ready for it. What's changed in the last 2 years that has made you a different kind of a person from just a couple of years ago?
Yeah, that 2-year little break from having left Big Bend and getting into teaching and being the AD and stepping away from baseball, I think has actually been a good thing for me, just to be able to look at other programs, look at the way different people run their organizations and just how baseball's changed, and kind of pick and choose what I like and what I would want to implement as I get back into coaching. And so, yeah.
And you're a father now, which you weren't 2 years ago, and some other. I mean, you've in your personal life, you've matured. You've probably matured more than 2 years from a calendar standpoint, haven't you?
Right. Being an athletic director during COVID, and then having a kid, and just all the challenges both of those things can present. Yeah, it's made me mature a lot in these last few years.
You've joined an organization that has aggressively and enthusiastically endorsed technology. Jose has built the infrastructure needed for you to succeed as a coach, to finding out what you need to do to make your team and your players better. And that's from a generational standpoint, that's got to make you feel pretty good. Jose's into this stuff.
Right. Yeah, he seems definitely up to speed with everything and the way that baseball is kind of growing, and he's caught up with a lot of the new age technology as far as that goes and the stats, and so I'm excited about that.
Talk about building a roster. As most people know, these are collegiate players who are simply trying to hone their craft and become better baseball players in the summertime. So when they go back to school, they're better baseball players, better human beings, and better to build their lives forward. So that Wenatchee, as the Apple Sox, will always be a pit stop on the way to either a baseball career or better and better things. So you're bringing in guys for a summer, maybe two. How's that working out so far with you and Allie, the general manager, trying to figure out what are we going to do to put a team together for 2022?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Me and Allie have kind of attacked the recruiting together. We've each kind of connected with the schools and the connections that each of us have, and then bounced ideas and players off of each other, and just trying to slowly but surely fill this roster with the best talent we can find. So it's been good. Our whole team has been great, working with Jose, working with Allie, working with Joel. They've all been great.
You're going to have to step into a leadership position and yet you're speaking, you're not that much older than the roster and the players are going to be playing for you. Do you expect that's a bit of a challenge, or are you going to be able to put your foot down when the time comes? I mean, you're talking about long bus rides, you're talking about discipline, you're talking about guys who are away from home who might stray off the beaten path. How do you keep them on that path, being not that much older than the players?
Right. I think that having coached for 3 seasons at Big Bend, having been a head coach in the Cascade Collegiate League for a summer, has all given me that experience of, knowing when to, be a buddy to a guy, and knowing when to lay the law down and not let guys cross the line. And I think that teaching as well, I mean, that's what I'm doing every single day is getting guys and getting my kids to do what I want them to do while also still having some fun, but not letting it cross that line. So I'm really not too worried about that.
Do you have a baseball philosophy as a coach? Coaching baseball? Are you a defense pitching guy? Are you 3-run home run guy? Are you force the action guy? What do you think you do better than perhaps other coaches in that respect? Strategy.
Right. I think a lot of that has to do with your roster. I think the best coaches are the ones that can adapt to what their roster is. If I got a bunch of 6'4", 250-pound guys that can just swing it, I'd be stupid to be trying to steal bags, hit and run, working small ball. And then on the other end of the spectrum, if I got a bunch of dudes that can fly, guys that can lay down bunts, guys that can put the ball in play, a bunch of good athletes, I want to get the game moving. I want to get forcing the defense to, play defense, force the action, and try to swipe bags and get it going.
You're an infielder by nature, so are you partial to infielders in that respect? I mean, everybody wants a solid defense.
Right.
But would you trade a little offense for somebody who is maybe a little more susceptible to the glove just to get more runs on the board, or is it get the outs?
I think at certain positions you can play a bat. But as far as defensive philosophy, you got to build your spine of your defense. Your best athlete's got to be at short, second base, and in center field, just because that's the majority of where the balls are getting hit. So, no, I'm not partial to any positions, but I mean, I love working with infielders. I'm an infield guy, so.
If folks are getting the idea that Coach Darlington is part of a youth movement, you might be right, because your new coach, Coach Vaughn, is not exactly old in the tooth either. Talk about your new assistant.
Yeah, so Aaron Vaughn and I coached together for 2 years at Big Bend Community College. He served as the pitching coach while I was serving as the infield coach. I believe he's 28, so he's a year older than I. But again, he's mature beyond his years. He just recently took the Wenatchee Valley Community College coaching job. So a good friend of mine, he'll be my assistant this summer, and I'm excited to see what he does with the Wenatchee program. They're ready to take a step forward. So,
being an Upper Valley native, Leavenworth via Cashmere, now Mansfield, Chelan, the guy is part of the North Central Washington area. You must have gone to a lot of Apple Sox games when you were a kid, being a baseball kid. What about the Apple Sox? I mean, you grew up with this team, did you not?
Right.
So, do you have any specific memories of going to Paul Thomas Senior Field as a kid and watching the team play?
Definitely. So, Fred Scholl, who is living in Leavenworth, he's a Hall of Fame coach, coached at Edmonds Community College. when I was in middle school, I remember him taking me to a game, and I believe it was like Hawkins Gebbers and guys like that playing for the Apple Sox. They were loaded. Ed Nags was coaching. And I just remember walking in there and the crowd and the lights and just the team. I mean, the guys to me looked, they look like big league guys. They're so big and, they're throwing so hard and hitting it so far and stuff. And I just remember being like, man, I want to be there someday. And so, yeah.
We talked off camera before we got ready to go that whether Coach Darlington becomes a baseball lifer or not, nobody knows. He still has a lot of life decisions to make. But the one thing that strikes me talking to you, Mitch, is that you're going to be, whatever it is you're going to do in your life, you're going to teach. You're always going to teach. You have that teaching aura about you. I just an observation.
Right.
Whatever you want to say about that.
Yeah. I love. I just love working. I love working with kids. But when you throw in baseball, something I'm passionate about, and just being able to pass down knowledge of, stuff that I've learned from great coaches. I've been really fortunate to have played and just met some really great coaches. We were talking earlier about Pete Domit.
Pete Domit, a legendary coach out in the Columbia Basin area. Pete
Yeah.
Domit is we missed Pete. We lost Pete a number of years ago from a tragic disease. But those people who played and were understanding of the baseball world in this area knew and loved Pete Domit very much, and so that says a lot for you.
Right, and having played for a guy like that, having played for Jeff Carlson at Kashmir, another guy that's going to be in the WIAA Coaching Hall of Fame here soon. Playing for the River Dogs for a guy like Dave Johnson, a legendary coach at Ephrata, Randy Boroff, Bill Walker from Natchez, some different guys that have had a big impact on my life. I love passing down knowledge and love passing down what I've learned from them, not only with baseball, but with life. And so that's kind of a passion of mine.
There's a lot of really good baseball players, a lot of really good baseball people here in North Central Washington. This is a baseball community. It really is. And they're going to come out and watch the Apple Sox win, lose, or draw, but win is best. On that note, Coach Darlington, your camera's right over there. I'm going to let you have the final word to the folks in the Apple Sox community to take us home. It's all yours, my friend.
I can just say I'm excited about the roster we're forming. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out at the ballpark, getting to know every single one of you, connecting with our community, with our kids through these youth camps, and just having our team be leaders in the community and good people off the field. So I'm excited to get after it with you guys.
Did you hire a pitching coach yet?
So Aaron is my assistant.
Okay.
He'll do pitching, and then we're in the process of hiring a third assistant. Probably more of a catching guy, since I'll take infield, he'll take pitching, and then, needing a catching guy, so.
Well, I have this, you hold it, it's a two-seamer, I'm sorry, it's a four-seamer. Notice how I hold it this way. And what I do is I take the rest of my fingers and I kind of grip the ball that way. The thumb goes down here, Coach, and what I do, and I learned this pitch from Bugs Bunny, you throw with about a three-quarter arm angle, you throw it hard off and with a hard push off the mound.
Right.
The ball starts out fast, and as it goes to the plate, it starts slowing down, and the last 2 or 3 feet right before it gets to the plate, it speeds back up again.
Wow.
I invented it myself, and I'd
Okay.
be more than happy to teach you and the crew.
Yes, we'll get you out there with the guys, and I'll be sure to pass that along to Aaron as well, so I'm excited.
Who do you like in the postseason before I cut you loose? Baseball.
Oh boy, if
You
the
like-
Dodgers survive, I think they can get it done.
If the Dodgers get past St. Louis tonight, we're taping this on Wednesday night, by the way, so we don't know. But if the Dodgers get past the Cardinals, I like the Dodgers' chances as
Right.
well. But watch out for the Astros. As much as people hate to say it, it's true.
Yeah, they'll be banging on garbage cans again. So
anytime you want to come see me, Coach, you're more than welcome to. We'll talk baseball.
Awesome.
All right.
I
All right.
appreciate you.
Apple Sox baseball is not too far off. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Dr. Wayne Latimer's Chiropractic and Integrative Multicare specializes in all level of injury care. If you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, have a sports injury, or a simple fall, call today for a free consultation. They offer a combined multi-care approach with medical, chiropractic, physical therapy, massage, and acupuncture. For relief from long-standing injuries to basic solutions for the weekend warrior, Latimer's Chiropractic Integrative Multicare is one stop, one location.
Counterplay inside, picking his way back to the 10, to the 5, into
High school sports is back, and NCAA Life Channel's got you covered. Tune in for football, girls soccer, and volleyball right here. A huge thank you to our sponsors, Les Schwab Tires, One Way Construction, and Save Mart. Follow all the action of high school sports on your local TV station, the NCAA Life Channel.
14, they come back.
In a world afraid of technology, one man, one show will bring you the newest innovations that may just change your life. This summer, Ray McNeil and your Weekly Tech Update is your Weekly Tech Update with Ray McNeil.
Are you frustrated because you feel like you aren't getting the internet speeds you pay for? One of the most common ways to test your internet connection is called a speed test. These are free and easily located on the internet and can tell you how fast your internet is. However, for certain reasons, these tests may not always be accurate. A speed test shows you how fast a file can be downloaded to the computer you're running the test on. However, there are many things that can affect the speed of that download besides the speed of the internet going into your home. A few of the things that can affect your internet speed are poor Wi-Fi signal, other wireless signals interfering with the wireless signals coming from your router, other devices in your home draining your bandwidth, your computer or phone running apps programs in the background that you aren't aware of, slowing your entire device. Any of these things can slow down your internet. Your internet is like water flowing down a pipe. There's a big pipe bringing internet to your local area, and a smaller pipe coming off of that bringing internet to your home address. Your router is just another pipe that brings the internet inside your house, and every device inside your home is like a pipe connected to the router. Just like with water, if any of those pipes along the way are too small for the amount of internet that needs to flow through for a family, the flow for everything down the line will be much slower. It's a lot like trying to push all the water going into your house through a small straw. Also, again, just like with water, if everyone in your home is using the internet at once, any individual device may not be able to receive the full flow of the internet. It's like your whole family trying to drink out of that small straw all at once. If you're struggling with internet that is slower than expected, make sure that all of the devices that your internet flows through are working correctly, and check all devices in your home for background programs that may be using the internet. If everything still appears to be working correctly, contact us and we'll be able to help.
The Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center brings you Vibrant Motion, a new hour-long exercise program featuring local instructors Connie Townsend and Pat Robbins. Each week, we'll bring you a new episode with aerobics or Tai Chi. We promise you'll get a heart-pumping, low-impact workout regardless of your age. Join us for Vibrant Motion, weekdays on the NCW Life channel. Check your program guide for airtimes.
All right, before we check your forecast one more time, the temperature around up 41 degrees now. In downtown Wenatchee, other places are considerably cooler. Freddie, you're at 34 degrees. Ellensburg, good morning to you. You're at 32 degrees. Moses Lake, 34. Manson is at 39 degrees. Quincy, 44 degrees. They're the balmy spot. And we're in for lots of sunshine and some pretty cool temperatures. From the National Weather Service, here's what we're looking at. Sunshine today is 64, just about what we had yesterday, only we'll have more sun than we had yesterday. 39, again, another overnight low in the 30s. Our overnight low last night was 44 degrees, but we did have some cloud cover. Yeah, it's going to be chilly. It's basically October weather. 65, again, below normal, with lots of sunshine Friday. Cool Friday night. If you're going to go out and watch some football games, bundle up. 40 for the overnight low there. A few passing showers possible on Saturday. On Sunday afternoon is when the cold front that's going to really cool us down begins arriving. By Sunday afternoon, you'll notice the wind will be picking up and the temperatures are going to drop like a gopher's basement all the way down into the 30s, mid-30s for the overnight lows Monday and Tuesday. Going to be chilly next week. Heads up on that. That's it for us. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.